force of the most dangerous people on the planet. They're bad guys. Worst of the worst.
Suicide Squad, directed by the awesome David Ayer, takes place right where Batman v Superman ended. I feel like these DC movies are lining up perfectly with each other, not skipping a beat in their timeline. The cast of characters in the movie are pretty close to their comic book counterparts, with the exception of few not looking exactly like them or acting-wise. They pretty much nail it. Margot Robbie does an amazing job as Harley Quinn. She looks very close to the Arkham style of the video games, and she nails it all the way down to her accent. Will Smith does a really good job as Deadshot. Captain Boomerang and Diablo are also done very well. Jay Hernandez did an excellent job of Diablo, and I really enjoyed his character in this movie. Viola Davis does an amazing job as Amanda Waller. She's very intimidating, and you know not to cross her in this movie. Rick Flagg's character was nothing that good. He was, your basic cookie-colored military guy. He was nothing great. Anybody could have been his character. Let's talk about Mr. J. Jared Leto did a fantastic job as the Joker. He nailed it, and I cannot wait for the Batman film and the Harley film just so we can see more of him. Just a really good performance from the little that we did get from him. Now to the actual film. David Ayer knows how to direct a movie, and if you've seen his other movies, you know that. And this movie is no exception. It's shot very well, other than one scene where they're in the Lambo that is framed a little weird, but other than that, this movie is shot very, very well. The plot in this film wasn't crazy or super deep, but this type of film doesn't need that. We do get a good basic story for this movie though, and the whole beginning of the movie is dedicated to flashbacks and just backgrounds of teaching us who these characters are and us learning a little bit more about these characters, which I did enjoy. I think they wrapped up everybody's background stories perfectly, quickly, and with really good music added to it, which I think was shot very well. I think they did a good enough job fleshing out Harley, Deadshot, and Diablo's characters for new watchers to understand, and also DC fans will already know all that, but they'll definitely enjoy it when they see it. There's a lot of nice tributes and Easter eggs to the comics, which I really liked. And if you're a DC fan, you'll definitely notice them when you see them. The soundtrack of this movie was really good. I like how they integrated it, definitely with the beginning of the film and throughout. I think it fit very well with this film. There was only one moment in the film where I was a little bit too much. But other than that, I think it did a really good job with the flow of the film. The main villain in this movie was alright. Without getting into spoilers, I think it's just what they needed. It wasn't too crazy, but big enough for it to be exciting for the movie. Speaking of action though, the fighting scenes in this film were really great. I really like seeing Deadshot do his perfect aim moves and just capping people and using his perfect Deadshot. And I liked seeing Harley use her bat and her killing people with her gun and stuff. It was really cool seeing her do all her little flip tricks that she did twice in this film, but it was so cool seeing that. We do get a few scenes with Boomerang where he uses boomerangs 2 or 3 times, and then he uses his close-up dagger weapons, which was pretty cool. I like that he had a unicorn tucked in his jacket, which was pretty funny. We do get a little bit from Killer Croc, nothing too crazy or too much showing off his power. He does throw one person at a car in the movie, but other than that, we don't really see much from him. I do wish we got to see how powerful he could be, though. Diablo had a really cool power set, and when he used it to the extreme was really awesome, and one of my favorite parts was at the very end of the film where he uses his power, and it was really cool. Probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. We do get one small fight scene with Katana where she's using her sword. It was pretty cool, but it was kind of masked between everybody else fighting, so it was kind of a bummer. I do wish we got to see her use her sword more. That would have been really cool. Enchantress' power set was pretty interesting and cool. We didn't get to see too much of her going too crazy with her powers. Honestly, I don't have too much to complain about with the characters in this film. There's only a few small things here and there I can complain about. One, obviously being with the Joker. I mean, other than Jared Leto doing a good performance as a Joker, I still do not like the tattoos whatsoever. I don't like the damage. I don't like, his chest tattoos. The smiley face on his hand was interesting, but, I mean, it could have just been drawn on, for that scene instead of, it actually being a legit tattoo. I just think his tattoos are kind of pointless. He could have done without them and still been a really good Joker. But, I mean, it's whatever. Another thing is Killer Croc. I think he should have been a lot bigger. I mean, in the comic books, he's 7'5", And in this, he's like the same height as Rick Flag and Deadshot. Like when he's standing right next to them, he's 6'2". Like he's not big and intimidating at all. Like one part he takes his jacket off and it's like, where's your muscle, dude? Like he's very small for someone called Killer Croc. Another complaint, the very end fight scene could have been a smidge bit better. There were cool aspects to it, but I just think it could have been a little bit longer, and the fight against the final boss villain, I just think could have been a little bit more of a struggle instead of a little bit too easy. The pacing of this film was really good. I didn't get bored at any part. The one Batman scene in this film was really cool. Well, I mean, technically there's 2 Batman scenes, but just seeing Batman in general is always awesome, and I still think Ben Affleck does an amazing job as Batman, and the scenes with him were really great. We do get a really quick glimpse of the Flash taking on Boomerang in the film, and that was really cool to see. Back to the main villain of this film, I do think they were defeated a little bit too easy just for who they were, so that was kind of a bummer. Also, you know, the whole stereotypical chaos in the center of a city with the big, you know, energy in the center.
We're going to the swirling ring of trash in the sky.
Was kind of lame. I don't know why they had to do that. They could have done anything else. If you look on the internet, there was a lot of scenes that were cut out from this film. I mean, even watching the trailers, you can tell that there were scenes cut out from this film. A lot of Joker scenes were cut out, which is a real big bummer because I really wanted to see more of the Joker. And also there's a few other scenes that were cut out, and I just don't understand why they were cut out. But maybe we'll get a director's cut of this film. I just hope we do get to see them on the Blu-ray or DVD or whatever. Also, I didn't like how Amanda Waller said, if there was a bad Superman, we have to make a group of people to take him down. I didn't like that line because I don't really think any of these cast of characters could take down a heavy hitter like Superman or just someone with superpowers in general. These characters are more like high-level street characters, and other than Diablo, who does have special powers and is actually strong, I don't think anybody else, maybe Killer Croc, but I don't think anybody else could handle somebody who is a high-level tier, villain. Now, other than that, there wasn't really much that was bad about this film. I'm not saying this film was perfect. It wasn't, but this film was good. I had a very fun time watching this film. I did think it was good. I enjoyed it, and I think anybody going to see it will have a fun time watching it. If you're a DC fan, I definitely think you'll enjoy it. So that's why I give Suicide Squad a 7 out of 10. If you guys like this review, hit that thumbs up button. And if you guys want to see more, hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching.